Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make some southern fried breakfast potatoes. Now, while these are often served in the morning, this dish can hold its own at any time of the day. I have surely had these served in my childhood for dinner, especially with some fish or some pork. Now, guys, I have 5 russet potatoes and I'm going to peel them straight into a bag just for easy cleanup. And then I'm going to put my potatoes in water so they do not get brown. I am going to slice these thinly, but what's most important is that you slice them evenly because you want them to cook at pretty much the same rate. If you want, you can slice your potatoes in half and then cut them into pieces, or you can just leave them as full circles. That is pretty much up to you. Of course, I am going to cook these with some onion. So I am using half of a very large onion. So I feel like this is the equivalent of one medium-sized onion. That caramelized onion with that spicy seasoned potatoes is so delicious. You want to slice this thinly as well because you want this to caramelize quick. Now, if you love these old school recipes, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe and let me know what other dishes you would like to see on this channel. Now, these are fried potatoes, so y'all, we're going to use some oil. Don't come to me asking how can you make this fat free. Baby, you can't make it fat free. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil in my cast iron skillet. Y'all already know Sister Mabel. And then I'm going to add some butter for flavor. The combination is what you're going for. Okay, then I'm going to add in all of my potatoes. Now, sister is packed right now. Okay, I probably could have used 4 potatoes instead of 5 because it was tight up in here. But y'all know I'm going to make it work. Okay. So what I'm going to do is toss the potatoes in the oil just to make sure they are all coated well, and you don't want the potatoes at the bottom to absorb all of your oil. Then I'm going to cut my heat to a medium low, and I'm going to cover my cast iron skillet for about a minute or two so that not only the potatoes on the bottom can brown, but the ones on the top will start to lightly steam. Now, this top that I'm using on the skillet is not actually go with the cast iron skillet. It really goes with my wok. I know most cast iron skillets do not have a lid, so just put a baking pan on there. Don't even worry about it. Or if you have a pan that's the same size, just cover it with it. That'll work too. Okay. Now I'm going to do this about 3 times. Again, making sure that temperature is not too high. If you have the temperature up to say like a 6 or a 7 on an electric stove, the ones at the bottom are going to really burn quickly. So keep that temperature at about a 4 because that cast iron skillet can hold on to that heat. So once I have done this for about 3 minutes or until the potatoes are about a third of the way cooked, you don't want them cooked too much or they're going to fall apart when you start to add in the onion. And y'all see I snuck in a little bit of green bell pepper, y'all. That bell pepper was holding on to his last leg in my fridge. So I went ahead and put it in there. All right. That's when you're going to add your vegetables and your seasoning. So I have a couple of seasonings here. I'm using Creole seasoning, Old Bay, garlic powder, onion powder, and some pepper. You can use whatever you like. I would say at minimum, if you only had one seasoning, use the Creole seasoning. Okay, that can get you a long way. I'm going to mix this together now. Since the potatoes are not cooked all the way, this is when you can distribute the seasoning pretty evenly. And you don't want to turn the potatoes too much because you don't want to break them up too much. Of course, there is going to be some breakage, but that's normal. After I've distributed my spices, you're going to see it's going to start to take on a really nice color as well. Combined with that browning, it's going to start to look great. It's been about 3 or 4 more minutes. At this point, the potatoes have a nice color, but you do want to make sure they are cooked all the way. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of water. This is about 3 tablespoons of water. It's going to help me dislodge any spices or like vegetables and things that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to just cover this for about 2 or 3 minutes on low just to make sure these are cooked all the way. You want to check it maybe a minute in just to make sure your pan is not dry. I added a little bit of paprika, adjusted my seasonings, and guys, These breakfast potatoes were absolutely delicious. I had these with some eggs and some sausage and shared them with a friend, and they loved them too. So let me know if you're going to make this recipe. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and God bless.